Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Unlimited podcast. In a little bit of a difference in location today. I'm not in my usual place. For all the people that are in the stream and they're always like, "Oh, why you always do stuff at 9 or at like midnight Eastern? Why don't you do stuff now?" Well, it's almost fucking midnight Eastern here where I am. I'm in Florida, so I'm suffering with all of you guys. But hello.
Hey, we did come on a little early for the people.
I always come early.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. So we do got a lot to talk about today. Alex Rodriguez, Dynamic DJs Gaming, Hunter Davis, all.
We really do, since we didn't have a Raw or SmackDown review this week, and we want to get people's opinions on the new tag team champions on Raw. Apparently, that was a last-minute decision Monday. I heard it was made not like Monday morning, but right around, like, I guess you could say lunchtime, noon. It was like early afternoon, late morning, when Vince goes, "Hey, we want to do what he called." This is what I got. Vince said, "We want a Christmas gift surprise." So that's why they changed the tag titles.
That sounds like an awful idea. In complete honesty, Nick, what part of Florida? I'm basically in Tampa. Actually, if anyone is from Florida and is going to the house show out here in Amalie Arena on the 30th, let me know, baby boys. I'll see you there.
Awesome.
But yeah, I don't like that tag title change.
Well,
it's just
what's going on is, Ambrose is out. They're saying, quote unquote, 9 months. I think it's going to be more like 4, maybe 5, since it wasn't a full tear. Anyways. With Ambrose being out, they needed to slot somebody else in there as a babyface. So they just said, you know what? We were going to turn Jason Jordan full-time heel, but since he hadn't turned heel yet, we can just put him babyface.
See, I don't know. I had a lot of people saying, like, "Oh, they should have given it to Finn."
I saw that, but it's like, that makes no sense. Why would you just randomly make Finn? At least with Jason Jordan, which they didn't do this on purpose the week before. Well, weeks leading up, because they've had the whole thing with Jason Jordan's been intertwined with this Shield Samoa Joe bar feud. So because Jason Jordan's sort of been intertwined, it made a little sense. What doesn't make sense to me is everybody saying Dean's going to come back as a heel and be mad at Seth Rollins for replacing him. Seth Rollins didn't want to do the match. Kurt made him do the match. He even told Jason Jordan, "You ain't no Dean Ambrose."
Yeah, no. I don't know.
How can Dean get mad for people? How can people say, "Oh, Dean's going to turn heel on Seth because Seth replaced him"? No, Seth said it right when Kurt made the match. I don't want to do this.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know what's going on, man. Vince is a weird guy.
But you want to take our first call?
Yeah, let's take our first call of. What is this going to be? Our last call of the year?
Last show of the year.
This is going to be our last show of the year.
Yeah, caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Hey. All right.
How you doing, man?
Doing all right, guys. So, what happened with Paige?
So, all we know right now I actually got word from somebody that was at the house show, and they messaged me on Instagram and go, "Hey, Paige just got hurt." And I'm like, "What do you mean Paige just got hurt?" So I did some investigating on Twitter talked to somebody else that was at the house show, and they said that Sasha Banks went for a drop kick, I guess, to the back of the head or the neck of Paige, and Paige immediately just fell to the mat. Referee jumped down to check on her, and medical rushed as fast as they could down to the ring with a stretcher. They checked her out for upwards. I think they said that the referee and medical personnel were checking on her for like almost 5 minutes. They didn't need the stretcher, but she was helped out of the ring and assisted to the back.
See whenever you block them.
So we don't know, how bad it is, other than
it's okay.
She did need medical attention.
Man, she just came back.
Right.
Just 2 months, like 1 month ago, from the same damn, from a broken neck
Yeah.
Which Edge and Stone Cold Steve Austin can address too. The reason they ain't wrestling anymore.
Right. So,
And to have this happen just 1 month before the Royal Rumble.
now, see, I got a lot of questions on that since we posted the news about, Paige got hurt. We don't know how bad it is. It could have been that, it was just a little stinger and she'll be good by Monday. Could be that they keep her out of action. Because you got to remember, the Rumble's 5 weeks away. There's plenty of time. If it's not a significant injury, there's plenty of time for them to keep her out of the ring for a few weeks and be fine for that Rumble. I mean, we probably won't know anything. Go for it.
But I'm looking forward to the Wyatt Squad and Absolution getting in their each other's faces and getting to see what actually happens. See if Paige finally reveals that she's behind both groups, or if they're just going to tear each other apart.
Hey, am I stupid? But what the fuck is Absolution?
The Paige group on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, they have a name?
Yeah, the Absolution. And then the group on SmackDown's the Riot Squad. No,
they're the Riot Squad.
Right. You know why they... I'll say that in a second, but thanks for the call and have a great night.
Have a good one, man.
Yep.
You know why she's got 2 T's, right?
Because they couldn't trademark Riot Squad.
Yeah. So they can trademark Riot 2 T's Squad. Or just... Yeah, anyways. That is
Riot Squad.
But as far as Paige goes, we don't know exactly how bad the injury is. Sasha Banks, if you watch the video we posted, you can see Sasha sitting in the corner, and the way, you can't see her face, but the way she's kind of moving and Bayley's like consoling her, you can tell Sasha kind of felt bad. So
yeah, no. That kind of shit's scary.
With the referee and all the medical personnel and them bringing a stretcher down just in case, and then Sasha, you can tell, feeling bad about it. You know that, it's something. That's something, not just like, oh, she took a bad bump or whatever. But no, something. So
you know what always helps me feel a lot better when I get sad about stuff.
What?
Just wearing some nice, comfortable clothing. And you can get a lot of comfortable T-shirts over at Strong Style brand.
You really can.
Why don't you tell me about it, Tim?
Well, I mean, it is the holiday season. I know Christmas is over. If you want to get somebody, if you forgot Christmas for somebody, maybe something didn't come in time, or your Amazon package, something happened to it, and you're like, crap, I need to get somebody a Christmas present. They're wrestling fans. Then go check out Strong Style brand. Strong Style brand has some great pro wrestling inspired t-shirts. If you use our promo code PWUnlimited at checkout, you will get 10% off of your purchase. And it's not just t-shirts. They have hoodies. They have shoes. Yes, they have custom Strong Style brand shoes. They have flags. They have hats. They have a lot of cool merchandise you can check out. They do a lot of cool things within pro wrestling. So go check them out, strongstylebrand.com. Use our promo code PWUnlimited at checkout, and you'll get 10% off of your purchase. Also, if you guys want to check out WrestleCrate, another sponsor of Pro Wrestling Unlimited, you can do so by going to WrestleCrate.com. They always give you a lot of goodies in their packages every single month. You get a t-shirt. Most of the times you get a figure. I mean, this month we got a signed autograph, not just an autograph, but it was a book that Mick Foley wrote and signed for every single WrestleCrate. And next month, check it out, next month, they will have exclusive items from Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. So if you use promo code PWUnlimited at checkout on WrestleCrate as well, you'll get 10% off there. So if you guys are Bullet Club fans, want some exclusive Bullet Club merch you can only get from WrestleCrate, go sign up today.
Well, there you guys go. And on that note, I got something to say.
Go for it.
I got a new shirt today. I got a shirt from my lady. I'm a Jim Cornette guy. And it got me thinking, man. Man, CM Punk chants are fucking cancer.
No.
Every goddamn week, you hear the same chants over and over and over. And why? Why are people chanting for CM Punk? There's no actual reason. No one's chanting for CM Punk because they want him to return. They're chanting for CM Punk for the same reason that we booed John Cena for so many years, and for the same reason that we all booed Roman Reigns now. Because we're fucking idiots. They think that if we can we can chant Punk's name enough, he'll magically fucking appear.
No.
It's ruining WWE. It's ruining matches. It's ruining shows. It's ruining so much. It's just so fucking annoying. I'm sick of it, honestly.
Well, I mean, they don't do the chants every single week. It was, more noticeable this week on Raw because they were in Chicago, CM Punk's hometown. But I really didn't hear the chants on SmackDown, and they were in the exact same building.
Well, again, do you know why they started chanting CM Punk? Not just because of Chicago.
Why?
Because Cena was in that ring.
True.
Can we give Nick his own rant show? We fucking had one, but no one fucking watched.
On that note, though, apparently when Elias kind of, what did he say? What's the exact line he used? CM Punk isn't going to interrupt me or something. Pissed off Vince McMahon, and he had a little talking to with the boss afterwards. Vince apparently told him, "Hey, do not bring up CM Punk again, whether they're chanting for him or not."
Yeah, no. There should be no fucking references.
No, there doesn't need to be.
Punk anymore.
There doesn't need to be unless you're like talking about great moments at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And I mean, I doubt they would even talk about that anyways, even though it was amazing. But you know what chant took over SmackDown?
No, because I didn't watch SmackDown. I believe I was on a plane at that point.
Rusev Day. That crowd went nuts. Rusev wasn't even out there. Daniel Bryan started off the show, and the crowd just Rusev. And then all of a sudden, they start doing some tag team stuff where Gable and Benjamin come out, and the crowd was whatever to them. And then all of a sudden, you hear Aiden English, and that crowd goes ballistic. You know Rusev is great when you can get over Aiden English. I think I said this last week.
No, I think you just told me this on my own.
I think I said it on the show we did Saturday night. You know you're great when you can get over Aiden English.
Yeah, that takes some fucking talent right there.
Exactly.
That takes a special kind of guy. But let's take a call.
Yeah, got one right here. All right. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim and Nick, GPA3. What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
Not much. Before I say anything, how was your guys' Christmas?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I finally got that WWE 2K18 game, finally.
Nice.
Didn't get much there. That game is stale. It'll be fun, though. I think now that the DLC packs are out, still waiting on one of the... Who's in the final one? It's the Hardys.
Hardys, Rock and Roll Express, and Beth Phoenix.
The only problem is that I can't get in my Xbox account yet.
Oh, fuck.
Gotcha.
God damn it. Yeah. Well, what's your question, brother?
I know we've been thinking about who's going to win the Royal Rumble now. But to be honest, though, I'm not sure if you guys were thinking about it. I thought it was going to be Nakamura winning, but now since I think whoever reported was the what was it? Fastlane, something like that, the main event.
Yeah, Nakamura's going to be in the title match there.
So that pretty much means Cena's going to win now.
That's what I believe, and that's what I've heard is John Cena.
Because I know they're probably not going to go Roman again because they're probably going to have him win whatever the Elimination Chamber match.
Right. Here's what I'm hearing on that. You're going to have John Cena win the Royal Rumble. You're going to have Roman Reigns win at Elimination Chamber. They're the two #1 contenders for the Universal and the WWE Championship. And then AJ Styles should win at Fastlane. And then we get, I don't know, I assume Brock and Roman would be the main event closing the show. And then you have Cena and AJ for the WWE Championship.
And that's the kind of thing on my mind. Like, do we have to see AJ and John again? I mean, no offense to them. It's like we've seen good matches out of it. It's just like, do we really need to see another AJ Cena match?
I get that, but I was thinking about this the other day. If their match at Royal Rumble was as great as it was, just think if they're doing that at WrestleMania and both guys want to try even harder and put even more into the match.
Right.
So it could be, even though people are going to say we've seen this match 4 or 5 times already, it could be a really, really good match.
Well, it's it doesn't quite have that effect of Cena versus Orton, you know?
I have
you
seen
know,
some people say that they
the
should
match
do
that happens 100 fucking times a year.
See, I have seen some people say Orton win the title at Fastlane, and then you can do Orton versus Cena as like a end of an era match because you had a couple years ago.
Right,
Undertaker.
because like I was like,
go for it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh, okay. I was like thinking, it's like, okay, since now we got to fight comparison, I'm gonna run through the list. Like, okay, Cena and Owens. I don't think really nobody wants to see it again because with Cena and Owens, they had a good rivalry. It's just I think it could have been a little better. Cena and Sami, I don't think really nobody wants to see that. No. Who else am I thinking? Nakamura. I think a lot of people would see Nakamura and Cena again, but again, like they're kind of killing Nakamura right now because they haven't really been pushing him like we all thought we were going to see. And then, who was the other guy in the match besides?
It was AJ and Orton. So,
Orton. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I really see AJ winning that, and then unless plans change, it should be John Cena challenging AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
Man, Philadelphia is going to be. That's probably going to have another riot like what they had like in 2015. Because I don't think nobody really wants to see Cena win again. Because imagine he's going to probably tie Stone Cold Steve Austin now for the most Royal Rumble wins.
Right. Well, they would both be at 3.
Right. And it's like now with Orton, Orton could do it too, but they're gonna have Cena win it, guaranteed, because they're probably gonna have Roman. I mean, I'm not sure because now we got Dean Ambrose now, but like putting Roman now in the Shield, even though he's getting better reactions, once WrestleMania time's gonna come around, it's gonna kill it again. They're gonna boo the heck out of him, unless if he can put on good matches. But yeah, I just don't think he's probably gonna be booed out of that building at the Superdome, or I was Silverdome.
Yeah. But, all right.
Superdome.
All right. Thanks for the call and have a great night.
No problem. Have a happy New Year's, guys.
You too.
Hope you guys have a good New Year. All right. See you.
All right, Nick.
Yo.
Our resident birthday statistician here today with 3 birthdays: Chyna, Goldberg, and Cesaro.
Weird. All today?
Jessica Street said there are 3 WWE birthdays: Chyna, Goldberg, and Cesaro.
Is WWE not mentioning Chyna anymore?
Actually, they posted something, I think. At least that's what I saw.
No, I saw Xbox say like, oh, it's a shame that no one's saying anything about this.
Hold on, I'll go back to where I saw earlier. It said something about WWE mentions Chyna on her birthday. I'm gonna have to find it, but Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch has been out essentially since the Riot Squad debuted. They made the Riot Squad attack her and quote unquote put her on the shelf so she can go film the Marine movie with The Miz, and Shawn Michaels is also in that movie.
Weird.
Now with that, everyone was wondering, when's Becky going to return? Is she going to be make her big return in the Women's Rumble, or is she going to come back next week on SmackDown? But actually, Becky returned tonight at a random house show.
Yeah, she just kind of showed up.
I think it was Detroit, Michigan.
In
a tag team match with Naomi.
I have an important fucking fact.
Go for it.
The McDonald's in Detroit has steak, egg, and cheese bagels.
Interesting.
And let me fucking tell you guys, they're so fucking good. I ate like 30. They're so goddamn good. I had an hour layover in Detroit, and they were so good.
Interesting.
Oh, goddamn.
But anyways, I thought last night would have been a good time to bring Becky back because they did the whole thing where all the women were in the ring fighting, and the Absolution was kind of, quote-unquote, in control. They were beating everybody down. And then, they beat down Naomi. And then Charlotte comes out, and Charlotte gets beat down. So I thought, perfect timing. You have Becky run out right now, kind of start to get a little momentum. Then the Riot Squad can start beating down Becky. And then Charlotte and Naomi come back in, and it's 3-on-3 right there. But what did they do? Natalya ended up coming out, Carmella, Tamina. And here's the thing. Didn't Natty, kind of quit or something at the pay-per-view? What's going on with all that? Her whole
are they not gonna fucking address when she was like, "I'm turning my back on you"?
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Tim, check your phone.
Gotcha.
Let me know.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Well, for sure, guys. As for my part, I gotta go. I love you guys, though.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. I will be back next Wednesday. I promise. Love you guys. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Have a good one, Nick. And with that, let's take another call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, how are you guys?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Doing well, thanks. So I had this one question about the Women's Royal Rumble.
Sure.
All right. So what do you think the likeliness of seeing Michelle McCool, Lita, Trish, or Ronda Rousey coming into the Royal Rumble?
Very unlikely. Now, here's the thing. What I've heard is either a 15 or 20 woman Rumble. When you take all the women on the main roster minus the 2 champions, that only leaves you with 19 women. So either there's only 1 open spot or there's no open spots and not all the women will actually get into the Women's Royal Rumble. So now you got to think, if they do the 20, you have 19 women on the main roster that will be in the match. Who do you put in that extra spot? We did learn this week that Ronda Rousey may not even be a possibility because she's filming a movie with Mark Wahlberg at the exact same time, and she's actually going to be in Colombia filming that movie, not even going to be in the country. So then you say, okay, you take Ronda Rousey out of it. And if you really want to bring back a one female, I don't see it being Michelle McCool as that one big female you bring back. Lita, maybe. Trish Stratus, maybe. Unless you bring somebody up from like NXT.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. Thanks.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right. Let's see what the chat is saying here. Yes, Luke Troller says WWE did mention China's birthday on Instagram. Yeah, that's what I did see as well. Royal Hipster says you're so random with the McDonald's. If anybody else does want to call into the show, 559-475-8473. The lines are open. Now, I do have to say we did talk about it a little bit earlier, but the Dean Ambrose thing, they say he's going to be out for 9 months. I don't believe it's going to be a full 9 months because that's for a full tricep tear. Dean Ambrose only had a 50% tricep tear. And when you look at it, Dean Ambrose is usually one of the more healthier guys in WWE. Since signing in developmental, this is his first real injury. So when you really look at it, it's like, dang, all this time Dean's never been hurt. And now it's got to just be the wear and tear. I did hear that the spot at TLC where he did get put through the table, but it didn't break and they did do it again, was kind of like where he did initially hurt his tricep, and it just, wrestling on it over the next 2 months was just the wear and tear from that is what fully tore it. But caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Tim, how you doing?
Pretty good. What's your question?
Oh, yeah. So my question, I need your opinion. Is this just you? Did Nick go, or is it just you?
Yeah, it's just me. Nick had to get going. He's visiting with some people for the holidays and couldn't really be on too long.
Oh, okay. Well, first, I'm glad you guys are back. I missed you guys.
Pardon? I couldn't understand you there.
Yeah, I say I'm glad you guys are doing the podcast and stuff again. I missed you guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thanks for that.
Yeah, and then, I need your opinion on this. I say, you think it's a good time to be a wrestling fan? The reason why I'm asking this question because now we're having, dream match. We're having, Omega versus Jericho. Omega and Okada had put on 6-star matches.
Right.
The indies are higher than they ever been. Ring of Honor's high. WWE is getting better, but we had AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, guys like that. Do you think it's good time to be a wrestling fan? Also, Roots Underground's coming back, and that's always good.
You know, I do think it is a good time, especially with so much out there that people can find. Like, before it was just like, you either had to be, like, say, the late 90s. You either had to only be a WWE fan or a WCW fan. Yes, there was indies around then, but no one really knew about it because we didn't have social media. We didn't have this big internet presence for indie wrestling. So then, you know, WWE buys WCW. Now you only got one real place you can go to watch wrestling. Then TNA comes around, and they're there. You know, a lot of people liked them when they first started, and then the fans started drifting from there. But now, over the last like 3 or 4 years, Ring of Honor has become more prominent. We've got all these different indie promotions that are popping up everywhere. So I do think now you have more options than you've ever had before. You've got New Japan. Easier now to watch in the United States with the New Japan World and their streaming service. You've got Powerbomb TV, which showcases a lot of different wrestling companies. Ring of Honor starting their own streaming service in early 2018. TNA has their own streaming service. So, I mean, there's more ways to find more different styles of wrestling. And I'm just only talking about wrestling mainly here in the States. There's other countries that you can watch wrestling online from as well. So, yeah, I do think it's a great time to be a wrestling fan because you don't have to just be a WWE fan. You can go out there and explore the other promotions and find what you like and what fits, you know, what you want to see as far as pro wrestling goes.
I agree with that. And like, for example, like I watched an Okada, like Ridley fight somehow, some way. I went on YouTube. I watched an Okada versus Omega match, and it was in English, and it was so amazing. It was awesome. Right.
Yeah,
and also I follow, and like I was kind of upset when WWE let Cody Rhodes go, but look at him now; he's doing better.
Mm-hmm.
And my last question is: who do you think WWE will sign in like 2018? If you think, the reason why I say this is because EC3 is a free agent, Bobby Lashley's a free agent. You got the Juice Robinson of the world, you know, people like that.
Right.
Who do you think WWE could sign? Also, if I'm mistaken, if I'm not, doesn't Scott Hall have a son on the indie circuit right now?
Well,
I mean, not.
Yes and no. Last I heard, I think he was working in Japan for Pro Wrestling Noah, but that was a couple months ago that I heard that. I know he was working for New Japan. He was part of the Bullet Club. He got hurt, and they let him go. He then went to Pro Wrestling Noah, and I don't know if he's done anything prominent here in the States. I know when he first wanted to get into wrestling, I guess people were like, hey, Scott, just, you know, use your connections, get him in with WWE. And Scott Hall said, no, I don't want to send him to WWE till I think he's ready. And so he pulled some strings and got his son in with New Japan. And he said, you know, if my son's going to learn how to work, he's going to learn in Japan first because that's where you can really learn, you know, the hard style of wrestling and everything. So, I mean, yes, his son is wrestling, not as much as he was before he was hurt, even though he wasn't doing much then either. So I don't know exactly what he's doing now. Like I said, about 2 months ago, I heard he was wrestling for Pro Wrestling Noah, but I haven't heard much since.
Yeah, but who do you think WWE will sign in 2018? Like the people I just mentioned.
Well, I mean,
anybody in your opinion?
I think the first person they're going to sign in 2018, and I think coming in January they're going to get Ricochet. That's almost a lock. Because
I love Ricochet.
Because when you look at it, Ricochet is telling promoters he can't take anything past like early January. Typically, when somebody with a big name tells promoters, "Hey, I can't take anything past such date," and we know that there's interest from WWE, it usually means that they're in talks with WWE, and it's likely they're going to sign. Shayna Baszler did the same thing right before the Mae Young Classic. Because if you look at it, you know, Shayna Baszler before the Mae Young Classic was telling promoters, I can't take bookings past whatever date she was telling them. But you had other women in the Mae Young Classic were saying, hey, I'm tied up on these dates, but I can work for you after. So it's like, you know, when people start saying, hey, I can't take bookings past, a lot of times it does look like they're going to go to WWE. And so I think the first one they're going to sign, which is possible probably around Rumble time, we can maybe even that takeover the night before Rumble, we can see them announce the signing of Ricochet.
What about War Machine? I heard they talking to them too.
Yes, that's one next one I was going to go through. War Machine has actually already begun talks, and I believe they either did start or they're about to start their medicals. Now, just because they're doing medicals doesn't mean it's a lock for them to sign with WWE, because I think it was around the same time Daniel Bryan was trying to sign with WWE. they were trying to sign Nigel McGuinness, and when he went through his medicals, they found some stuff they didn't like, and they passed on him. So just because War Machine, like I haven't heard of any injuries of War Machine, like major injuries that would hinder them, but just because they have started their medical process or are about to, it's not a lock, but it's a good sign.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks for taking my call, dude.
All right, thanks for the call. Have a great night.
Oh yeah, that guy gotta mention this. I'm from New Orleans and I'm gonna be working at WrestleMania.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right.
So I mean, I have heard also Tessa Blanchard may be coming in as far as signing and working in NXT. So that could be another good female signing, because PW Insider did report, I think it was last week, that WWE is in talks with a prominent indie female. And then I heard a couple days later that female actually might be Tessa Blanchard. Could make a little sense. You get Tessa, you get Ricochet. They are a couple. Get them in together. Let them both work NXT. So that would be a good one. Velocity Games says, do you think Karma could return? I don't think so. I think she said it multiple times. She's done with wrestling. She's good to go. So, I mean, I know she worked on that show Glow, and a lot of people are like, oh, she worked Glow. She's going to come back and wrestle. It was a TV thing. They wanted someone that, was a prominent wrestler, a good wrestler for that show, and it worked out for her. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat before we take another call. Reality Era, do you think the Iconic Duo is main roster ready? I do think the Iconic Duo is main roster ready, but here's the issue. You just brought up 5 women from NXT. You can't, yes, you can say, well, 4, because Mandy Rose was never really prominent on NXT, but when you really look at it, if you take too many women at a time, it goes for the men as well. If you take too many people at one time and move them from NXT to the main roster, then you're going to look at NXT and be like, there's no one with a name there. Why should I care? So you have to sparingly take certain women and leave certain women, because you need those, I guess you can say, names still down there in NXT, because it's not just a show on the network or working the circuit there in Florida. They go all around the country, and you need recognizable names to sell those tickets all around the country. So yes, I do think the Iconic Duo is ready for the main roster. More ready than some that are on the main roster right now, but I just think that you have to leave some people down there, and unfortunately, they're the ones that got left down there for the time being. Mr. DJ King 26 says Sarah Logan is just horrible. She's not horrible, but I don't think she was ready. I mean, she's better than Why am I blanking? Sonya Deville? She's better than Sonya Deville. I'll give her that though. Ashton Tyler says, who's the best wrestler in 2017? You gotta give it to Kazuchika Okada. Look how many matches he had that were 4-star or above with almost everybody. I mean, he got a 3 and I think Meltzer gave it a 3 3/4 stars from the match with Fale. That right there shows you that, wrestler of the year right there. Wrestler of the year. Derek Bogue says, who has worse mic skills, Nakamura or Asuka? Here's the issue with that. Nakamura, Asuka, I think they're about the same. The issue is they give Asuka more to say on the main roster. So it's like, well, Nakamura's no good on the mic because he doesn't say much. It's the language thing. Vince feels like if you can't speak English well, we're not going to give you much to say. And because Asuka does speak it a little better than Nakamura, they sometimes, which mainly was in NXT, give her a little more to say. So, I mean, that's not really a fair question, to be honest. But let's take another call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Oh, what's up, man?
How's it going?
Going good, man. Christmas was good. How about yours?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I got myself the Raw Elite ring. Been wanting that forever.
Nice.
All right, so I'm going to be attending this WrestleMania coming up.
Okay.
I got tickets, and I wanted to ask you one question. Are they going to change the main event from Brock versus Roman?
No. That's been the plan since literally this year's the WrestleMania 33. It's been the plan. They've built Brock Lesnar towards Roman Reigns. They're making him look like this big, strong monster that can't be beat. The F5 can't be kicked out of, and you're going to go to WrestleMania. Roman's going to kick out of the F5, and he's going to beat Brock Lesnar. I think they've
that's
put.
That's pretty stupid. I mean, because he's going to get booed out of the building again.
Maybe.
I think he will.
I mean, there's a possibility, but I mean, he has been. You can say it's because he's been kind of teaming up with Dean and Seth. He has been getting better reactions lately.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see it. I can really see it. Because if you look at WrestleMania 31 when they did Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns the first time, I was there. Roman Reigns. This was not long after they split the Shield. Maybe 7-8 months or so after they split the Shield. And Roman was, still kind of getting that Shield rub. He still had the entrance coming through the crowd, and they were still liking him and stuff. But I feel like even then, if he would have been the one to walk out WrestleMania 31 with the championship, the crowd kind of would have turned on him then too.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. You think Taker's going to come back from Mania or no?
That's a really tough one to say because typically when we know Taker's coming back, it's around November-ish. We haven't heard anything. Now,
but January, though, he's going to be appearing there.
Right, that's what I was getting at. Undertaker is supposed to be on Raw the Monday before the Royal Rumble. So maybe they have talks with him because Vince is under the impression that he can possibly convince Undertaker to wrestle again. But, I mean, if we haven't heard anything yet, I'm leaning towards possibly not. But I guess you can say Vince does have one more chance face-to-face to convince him.
Yeah, I was hearing rumors that he was going to fight on Raw 25, or he was going to enter the Hall of Fame, or he's going to announce a match. But I don't, what I'm saying? That
right. Now, I don't know exactly how this whole Raw 25 is going to work because we don't know. I assume the main roster guys will most likely all be at the Barclays Center. The Hall of Famers and all the guys coming back for the appearances are going to be at the Manhattan Center. But we don't know who's going to be where as far as, like, is Vince going to be at the Barclays Center? Is Vince going to be at the Manhattan Center? Which where's Triple H going to be and this and that. So as far as that aspect goes, we don't even know. Like I said, it could be Vince's last chance face-to-face to convince The Undertaker, but we don't even know if they're going to be at the same location since they are going to be filming from two different locations. And I have heard, we did post, I think it was 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, a possible lineup for the Hall of Fame, and Undertaker wasn't in consideration. So that
was Goldberg.
Right, Goldberg as the main event, not main event, but the headliner. And so that does lead us to believe if they're not considering Undertaker this year, then Vince may at least, even a little bit, have in the back of his mind, hey, maybe I can convince Taker.
Yeah, but I was thinking they should put him against someone, like, I don't know who, and then the Brock and Roman gets moved to the mid-card. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Right, because I know last year it was supposed to be John Cena taking on The Undertaker, and then when John Cena requested to do the whole thing with Nikki Bella and The Miz and all that, they shifted it to Undertaker Roman Reigns. And with Cena now looking like he's going to challenge for the championship, I don't know what route they go with The Undertaker. It's like, who do they even have that can have a good Undertaker match?
John Cena?
But if Cena's fighting for the championship of WrestleMania, if he wins the Rumble, that's out of the question.
Well, I don't think he's going to win the Rumble, dude. I think it's going to go to Shinsuke, in my opinion.
I can't go to... Shinsuke's supposed to be fighting for the title at Fastlane in a Fatal 5-Way, and everything I'm hearing is... Now, Shinsuke has been talked about winning the Rumble, but more people are on the side of John Cena. Right now, the two names that are in contention are Cena and Nakamura, and they're heavily more on the side of John Cena.
So if AJ Styles retains the title of Fastlane, is going to be Cena versus Styles again?
Right, at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. That's the route they are possibly working to, if nothing changes, last I heard, which was last week.
It's going to be a good match, though, but I don't want to see that again. I mean, I'm sorry and all, but I just really don't want to see that match again.
No, I get it. People are, I mean, they had the match, they have like 3 matches in 2016. Then they had the Royal Rumble 2017 match. So people
I was there live. It was crazy, bro.
Right.
Oh, God.
I mean, so people are like, we've seen it too many times. Why do it again? But we haven't seen it at Mania. And if you really look at it, John Cena has he has had some really good matches at WrestleMania. So maybe they can pull out an even better match than they had at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But thanks for the call and have a great night.
Oh, you too, man.
So I mean, I know people don't want to see it again, but right now that is the route they're going. The route they're going is, I mean, it looks like, and last I heard, John Cena, AJ Styles, WrestleMania. Let's see what you guys are saying. All right, so I saw this a couple times here in the chat. Let's just talk about Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is not gone from the WWE. Dolph Ziggler is not leaving the company. What it is, it's kind of like what they did with him a couple months ago. They're going to take him off TV, and then they're going to try and bring him back and kind of reboot him again, which they really didn't do it correctly the last time. Dolph Ziggler. Now, the story they're playing up on SmackDown was Dolph Ziggler left the title in the ring last week on SmackDown and then left. Daniel Bryan said he's been trying to call Dolph. Dolph won't answer his phone calls, and they go from there. They're not going to crown a new U.S. champion. But Dolph Ziggler is not done with the WWE. I think he's still got like a year on his contract. So, I mean, I think I heard back in October he signed an extension. It wasn't a full extension, so he might have a year, a little bit less maybe. I don't know exactly how long his extension was, but yeah. Alfredo Virgin, where's Donovan Dijak? I guess Performance Center. I know he did sign. They announced his signing and everything, but he hasn't wrestled anywhere. I don't know what they're going to do with him, when they're going to bring him in, when they feel like he's ready at the Performance Center, they'll bring him on NXT. But let's take another call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Well, I was a question about like the Raw Tag Team division. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about the Raw Tag Team division?
Yeah, because it seems like it's only the Shield and like the Bar, and it's like pretty boring.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Let's look at it for 1 second. As far as on the Raw side, the teams that fight for the tag titles, you have the Bar, you have the Shield. They all feel like main event guys. It all feels like their tag team division is more important than the SmackDown tag team division. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but does that seem correct to you?
It's but like the club is still at the club. Like Carl and Luke are still there.
Well, I'm talking about the guys that have been fighting for the titles for the last 6 months, essentially. They all feel like main event guys. Because compared to SmackDown, they're just guys. You've got 4 teams over there. Granted, Rusev is bigger than anybody in the company. But you have 4 teams that just seem like guys. And then when you look at SmackDown, at least their tag team champions, or whoever's contending for their tag team champions, it's only 2 teams over the last couple of months, but they all do seem like they legit main event guys. So I do believe in some sort of an aspect, the Raw tag team division, or at least the Raw tag titles, are seen in a better light than the SmackDown tag titles.
Yeah, that's true. But I just would like to see like different guys get it, because I don't. Is there any other teams on Raw besides that? It seems like SmackDown has more guys.
Well, SmackDown technically has, I guess if you really look at it, they have 6 teams. If you add, 7. If you have the 4 that have been fighting for the titles. You have the Bludgeon Brothers, Breezango, and the Ascension. But then when you look at Raw, you've got, now Jason Jordan, Seth Rollins. You've got the Bar. You've got Rhino and Heath Slater. You've got Gallows and Anderson, the Revival. So, I mean...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you do have other teams on Raw, but if they want to keep those Raw tag team titles feeling prestigious, I guess you can say, what team do you put in there? The Revival, since they're just coming back, and you can try to build them up as like a top team. I mean, you can also say the Miz Taraj as a team, but they're just geeks anyways.
Yeah, nobody wants them.
Exactly.
So okay, so do you think when would Ultimate Pain be coming up though? Would they come on Raw or SmackDown?
I think that's the question. I think they would fit better on SmackDown because, like I said, the SmackDown tag titles. Nothing against the SmackDown tag teams and the tag titles, but they don't have to. Well, it all depends. I feel like Raw needs another tag team. But on SmackDown, there's better tag teams they can work with to help them get more over and get more experience. You know, the Usos are great. The New Day's great. Benjamin and Gable are great. So you have guys that are tag team specialists, I guess you can say, that can help the Authors of Pain on SmackDown. But then when you look at it, Raw may actually need another tag team to kind of balance everything out. Yet they were supposed to come up after SummerSlam, and now they're back in NXT. So we'll see when they eventually bring them up, but they canceled their call up already once.
Okay. All right, thanks.
All right, thanks for the call. Have a great night.
You too, bye.
All right. Let's see what you guys are talking about here in the chat. Joanne Fly says, Ashton Tyler, who will be the next NXT call-up. I think it all depends on how long McIntyre's out. McIntyre was supposed to be up already. McIntyre was supposed to be up following a Survivor Series. No, he was supposed to come up before Rumble. How about I say that? He was supposed to come up before Rumble. And now that he's injured, he's already started his physical training. He started his physical training like the day after he had his surgery. So I think depending on how long he's going to be out of action, he should be the next one to come up from NXT. I don't see any females right now coming up since they did just bring up 5, like I said earlier. And as far as males go, I don't see anyone else that they're really moving in the direction of bringing them up. I know, we know Gargano is going to challenge Almas at TakeOver Philly the night before Rumble for the championship. I honestly don't see Gargano winning that. I think if you want to make Almas feel like a legit champion, he has to beat Gargano. You get that big heel heat with him beating the big-time babyface, the guy that everybody loves in NXT. So we'll see how it goes, but I do think that depending on how long he's going to be out of action, McIntyre should be the next one coming up to the main roster. Spirix 3DTM, how do you feel about Shayna Baszler returning to NXT? Well, it's not a return. It's a debut of it on NXT. I haven't seen the NXT yet tonight, but I think it's good. It adds another female there. She has already the history with Kairi Sane as far as Kairi beat her to win the Mae Young Classic, so you have a built-in storyline right there. It's not just like some woman coming in and, I need somebody to feud with, so I'm going to attack her. No, you have that built-in storyline with Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane, the final 2 women of the Mae Young Classic. And Shayna Baszler is going to be the heel that was like, you beat me, but I'm really better, and I'm going to show you on NXT. And then, Kairi, maybe they do a 3-way for the NXT Women's Championship. Kairi, Ember, and Shayna Baszler. Or you do Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane, number 1 contender for the Women's Championship and go from there. But I think it's going to be good. Shayna Baszler can really learn a lot. For her limited time in pro wrestling, she has, improved quite a bit from when she first started, coming off of MMA and the UFC and stuff. So I think she's going to do well in NXT. I really do. Let's take a call here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going?
It's Royal Hipster here. I called last time. Oh, wait. You're Tim, right?
Yes.
Okay, pardon me, I'm still new here, so I don't...
Not a problem.
I could not tell the difference between, which one. But I only have, 2 quick questions.
Go for it.
The first one, I feel like NXT, I'm probably not the only one, but the NXT, the guys from there, like when they get called up, I feel like they haven't like been booked the way that they should have been. They should be. That being said, like, do you think like the rumor is true that like Vince just doesn't like anyone that's not from WWE?
Now, I mean, you can see. Well, I don't want to say see, but you can argue that as a legit statement because you have guys like Bobby Roode that have come up from NXT and, you know, quote unquote, wasn't a WWE guy, came from some other company, and they haven't done much with him. But when you look at guys like Kevin Owens, you look at guys like AJ Styles, who AJ skipped NXT and became a top guy on the main roster immediately. You have Kevin Owens, who spent a very limited time in NXT, and then within a year of his debut or his main roster debut, was the Universal Champion. Maybe a little more than a year. So, I mean,
So you're saying he pushes certain guys. Right. Like, AJ's very valuable, right?
I mean, to be honest, AJ Styles, if you listen to AJ Styles' interview on the Edge and Christian podcast, AJ said when he debuted in the Royal Rumble, Vince put him out early because he literally thought people weren't going to know who this guy is. He's not a WWE guy. They're not going to know.
I saw that.
He said that he heard before he went out there that Vince literally was under the belief that no one was going to know who he was. And when he went out there and got the reaction that he did, it literally changed Vince's entire perspective on him. So, I mean, you have that there.
Yeah, I heard that.
Right.
Okay, well, that answers that then, you know, because I first thought that rumor was true because, like, I don't know, you know, Vince, he's smart, but he's kind of arrogant. Like, he might have been, he just doesn't like that, you know, Finn and AJ, they're already developed.
The Finn thing, if you really look at it, Finn came to the main roster with a draft and was going to be the main champion on Raw instantly, pretty much. But then he got hurt.
Get injured,
If he wouldn't have got hurt, he would have been that Universal Champion. Who knows how long he would have held the title. It would have never gone, I can't say never, but most likely would have never gone to Kevin Owens. And, you know, he really saw something in Finn as well. And then when Finn got hurt, Vince's whole mentality was something along the lines probably of, oh, well, we can't push this guy. He's not reliable. He's going to get hurt again.
He can't hold up his end of the bargain.
Exactly. So, and what was your second question?
Oh, yeah, man. Sorry. Who would you want to see in the 2018 Hall of Fame? I have like a list of 30 people, but I'm not going to bore you with that.
I think we have heard some names. I think that Dudley's going in is perfect. If Bully or Bubba, whatever
I would
you
love
call
for it to
him,
be.
if he's legitimately done after that last pay-per-view with Ring of Honor, then put him in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
I see Goldberg maybe having one more match in him, and so if that's the impression, maybe wait on Goldberg at least another year.
People say The Rock should have been in instead of Goldberg. Yeah.
The Rock's not going to wrestle Goldberg.
No, like in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, induct?
Yeah, he should have.
No, I think it's got to be somebody from WCW. It can't be The Rock because there's no real connection to Rock Goldberg other than the first time Goldberg came in, his first feud was The Rock. Other than that, there's no connection to Rock Goldberg.
No, I'm saying inducted instead of Goldberg.
Oh, instead of... maybe.
I don't agree with that. I'm saying people say that he's, you know.
Right. You know, I mean, I could see.
He's only been there for 5 years, but
I can see
he
putting Rock
ratings and stuff. Yeah.
Right. I could see putting Rock in because he's probably not going to wrestle another match. All these after he got hurt the last Cena match, all these different, you know, movie studios don't want him wrestling if he's going to be doing movies for them because if he gets hurt again, then that delays the movie, the filming, costs a lot of money on them. So I can see The Rock maybe going in the next year or two, based off of that alone, that he's probably not going to wrestle much, if not ever again anyways.
Yeah, some people feel like WWE may feel like, well, whenever Rock is ready, because he's really busy. So since he's busy like all the time, like he won't be inducted or something like that, or if he makes time to be inducted.
I can see him make time to be inducted because if you look at it, when he did his appearance at WrestleMania 31 with Ronda Rousey, that night before, He was on Saturday Night Live in New York. As soon as he finished that, he got on a red eye, flew to California, and was at WrestleMania the next day. So even if he's busy the day before, he can fly out the day of or the night before the Hall of Fame to be there if he really needed to be.
Right, yeah, okay.
So
since you said Dudley Boy, yeah, I would love for it to be Demolition, but yeah, as bad as I want Demolition to be in, but yeah, Dudley Boys are great.
Demolition aren't going to go in as long as they're still suing the WWE.
Right.
So
I heard Sunny tried to sell her ring, her Hall of Fame ring.
There's rumors on that she's denying it, but I don't know. Right. We'll see. But thanks for the call and have a great night.
All right.
Yeah, I think that the Rock going into the Hall of Fame, I think just do it. He's probably not going to wrestle again. Like I said, after the last match with Cena, he got hurt. He needed to have hernia surgery. It delayed filming of the Hercules movie, which cost the studio a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. And now when he, signs on to do movies, they tell him, hey, as soon as production starts, or even sometimes before production starts, you ain't wrestling. And they put it in his contract. You can't do a wrestling match. That's why WrestleMania 32, he can only do that 30-second match with Rowan. That was it. Because they didn't want him getting hurt. So he was literally only allowed to do, I forget what movie he was working on at the time. It might have been Fast and the Furious. But he was only allowed to do that 30-second match, 3 moves. And that was it. Let's see. Global War says they should induct China. Yeah, they should. She would be a perfect one. But there's a lot of stigma on China for things she's done after WWE. But caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
How's it going tonight?
Pretty good. What's going on?
So I just have to know, if you could book WrestleMania, what would be the top 5 matches you would book, and they can be interpromotional?
Ooh. Well, I mean, first off, I would book AJ Nakamura. Because what most people don't understand, everyone always thinks, oh, AJ Nakamura, they had so many great matches in Japan. To be honest, they only had one match in Japan the whole time AJ was there. It was the Wrestle Kingdom match. AJ said it on the Edge of Christian podcast. They didn't do tag team matches against each other or anything. The only time they ever wrestled in a singles match was that time at Wrestle Kingdom, and it was regarded as one of the best matches of the whole year. So in that regard, want to see it again, want to see it at WrestleMania, so you do AJ Nakamura. Then you can maybe do, let's see. So I need 4 more. Oh, man, this is a tough one. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head.
I like to make you guys think.
Pardon?
I like to make you think.
Yeah. Jeez, I mean, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins would probably be a really good match. Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, if the build's right. Maybe you do. This is a tough one. Just trying to think off the top of my head. I could see maybe doing the Broken Hardys versus the Revival. I think that could be a really good match because they were supposed to do it around.
Really good match.
You were supposed to do it around SummerSlam time, and then Dawson got hurt. No, Scott Dawson ended up getting hurt. So I mean, Jeff may be back in time for WrestleMania. There's a big if there, but there's a possibility. So maybe you can bring that back up. You finish Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy before that. But maybe around Rumble, you finish Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy, then you have the Hardys take on the Revival. I think that could be a really good match as far as tag teams go. And then maybe you book, well, no. I'm thinking one more match. That wouldn't work.
What about a women's match? Are you just forgetting about the women?
That's what I'm trying to think. I mean, I would want Asuka versus Charlotte because I think that would be really, really good. But I mean, I guess you can do that. Asuka wins the Rumble and says, I don't want to take on Alexa Bliss. I want to take on Charlotte and move to SmackDown.
Good choices. And I just have to make a comment about Undertaker coming back for WrestleMania.
Sure.
Please, God, no. I'm sorry. First of all, people keep saying, like, they want to see Sting versus Undertaker. No.
Sting's already said he's done. He's not wrestling again.
Fans still want it, though. But the thing is
course.
if fans get that, they're going to be pissed because that match won't be good. They're going to be angry because the match they have in their minds will not be good because
Correct.
They're both old.
They're thinking they want Undertaker when he faced Shawn Michaels at Mania, and they want Sting when he was in TNA.
And that'll never happen.
No.
Like, it's impossible. But I personally am not a fan of The Undertaker now because coming back for one night a year, at least Brock Lesnar makes a couple appearances.
Right.
But Undertaker coming back for one payday, having a match that's maybe half decent, it's depressing.
True.
It's truly depressing, and it's taken away from his legacy of how many great matches he has had with every bad match he's had since.
Oh, no, you're not wrong. And when people saying, have Undertaker come back for one more match, why? Who's he going to face? Like, John Cena looks like he may be facing... John Cena may be facing for the championship. Roman Reigns, you do a rematch there? You can't. Roman's probably going to face Brock for the championship. And what other big name do you have that can take on The Undertaker? What, Kevin Owens? It's the only name I can think that can, if you have Undertaker come in as the babyface, you need a good heel to take on The Undertaker. Who do you do? Kevin Owens?
Yeah, and the problem with one more match. Well, and the problem with one more match is that people always say, one more, just one more. Oh, okay, you're going to keep saying one more. It's never going to end.
Exactly.
Like,
you say, oh, come back for one more match.
Will never be happy.
Exactly. You say, come back, one more match. And then he comes back and then, okay, we only wanted one more. No, you're going to say it again. Can he do one more? And then, they're never going to be happy until he officially says, I think until they put him in the Hall of Fame, fans are still going to say, one more, please.
Well, even if he goes into the Hall of Fame, fans are going to will still want that one more match.
Exactly, and
like I said, it's taken away from his legacy because he can't have the 5-star matches.
Exactly.
He has 2.5-star matches at best, and that hurts me to say.
Yeah.
And I just have one more comment. Remember the whole I'm going to get a tattoo of the user if they donate $100 on Super Chat?
Oh, that wasn't me. That was Nick.
I know, but could you let him know that he owes that tattoo from September 24th?
To you?
Yeah, because September 24th, I donated over $100.
I will text him right now. See what he responds.
So, but anyways, nah. But I feel bad for fans wanting that one more, but you're not going to get what you want.
It's just like Shawn Michaels
reacted to Roman Reigns match.
Right, and Shawn Michaels when he did the when he refereed the house show, and I think it was the night before Takeover, the title match. Fans were chanting one more match, and you know what? He literally got on the mic and said, "You don't want to see that. I can't do the same that I did before."
Exactly, and Shawn Michaels isn't Shawn Michaels the only wrestler besides Punk that has said I'm retiring and has actually, stayed retired?
For the most part. I mean, Ric Flair kind of, well, no, because Ric Flair retired in WWE and then went to TNA. So, yeah, I guess you can say he's the one that kind of stuck with the retirement. I mean, there's others, but
yeah, it's like
he's like one of the bigger names that stuck with it, I guess you can say.
Yeah, so when he said, yeah, I'm done, he actually meant, and it wasn't like 3 months later, Shawn Michaels is back. So
yeah,
but anyways, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for the call.
Sorry I cut you off.
Oh, no. You're fine. But yeah, thanks for the call.
Have a great night.
You too.
You too, bye.
But yeah, Shawn said it. He said, they were chanting at him, one more match, and he told the crowd there in San Antonio, you don't want to see that because I can't be the same Shawn Michaels. I'm not what you think you're gonna. It's not gonna be what you think you're gonna get. So, like when everyone was like, "Oh, Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles," it might be a good match. It might not be a good match. Shawn hasn't wrestled in how long? So, I mean, let's take one final call before we wrap it up here. San Antonio. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
What's up, Tim?
How's it going?
Good. This is Sam from Facebook.
What's up?
I know you've been busy, man. I'm sorry for hitting you up like crazy, but I got a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Go for it.
Okay. When I was watching Monday Night Raw during the John Cena Elias segment, they keep saying CM Punk like 3 times in a row. I just want to ask you, I know the fans miss CM Punk, but he's not coming back. But why they keep saying his name? Because he's definitely not coming back.
You mean as far as like WWE mentioning him?
Yeah.
Well, see, I said this earlier. I don't know if you're here in the live stream when I mentioned this, but when Elias mentioned CM Punk by name, Vince McMahon got very mad and actually talked to Elias after it, telling him, "Hey, don't do that again." So, right. I mean, the wrestlers that say it aren't supposed to say it. The only people that can get away with it, it's like Stephanie, because when they chanted at Stephanie, she makes fun of it, and then like Triple H or Vince or somebody like that. But other than that, they don't want people referencing CM Punk as far as the wrestlers go.
Right. Yeah, because I just wanted to know that because I thought that was like scripted, but I know they're not supposed to say that because I remember The Rock saying that too. Yeah.
Well, The Rock did that. The Rock did that. It wasn't on TV. When he did that, it was when they were filming for his movie, and you know they're going to let The Rock go out there and do anything he wants, anyways, especially if it's not on television.
Right. Okay. I wanted to ask you another question. About the Ronda situation. Is she coming, or you don't know yet?
What about Ronda for the Rumble? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
It looks unlikely that she's going to make the Rumble. I can see more like WrestleMania because, like I said before, she's filming a movie, and while Rumble's the 28th. Yeah, the Rumble's the 28th. Yeah. She's not even going to be in the United States. She's going to be in Colombia filming that movie with Mark Wahlberg. So it's looking very, very unlikely that Ronda can even be there.
Damn, I really wanted to see her. Wow. Okay. So if it was up to you, right, who would you want to come back to the Women's Royal Rumble, or the first ever Women's Royal Rumble?
See, that's the thing. I don't think you need anybody to come back. Why do you need to bring people back? Why can't you just push the women that you have? Like I said before, if it's a 20-woman Rumble, there's only going to be one slot anyways, so maybe you fill that one slot with somebody from NXT. Maybe for shits and giggles, you put Ember Moon in there. Even though she's the NXT Women's Champion, you do it anyways. You know she ain't going to win, but why not? It's just like when Kevin Owens came to the main roster to challenge John Cena for the U.S. Championship, sort of, I guess you can say, as the NXT Champion. It's something kind of cool you can do, but it doesn't have to be a full-time thing. It could be a one-time thing. So, like if you really want to do it, you do a 20-woman Rumble. You have 10 women from Raw, 9 women from SmackDown. You bring 1 woman from NXT. You don't need to bring anybody back because it's like, okay, if you bring 1 woman back, you're going to have some fans that be like, great, cool, you brought back Trish Stratus, for example. But then you have the other fans like, why'd you bring back Trish? Why didn't you do Lita? Or why didn't you do so-and-so? And it's just going to be if you only have, because I don't think they're going to do 30 women and 30 men. That's too much time for a Rumble. So if you're going to do a 20-woman Rumble and you only have 1 open spot, I think you can do an NXT woman so that way you don't like, oh, well, why'd you choose her over her? Or why'd you bring that woman back and not this woman instead? So I think that's the way you go.
Okay, I only have 2 more questions for you.
Go for it.
Because I don't want to. I know it's a lot of people trying to call you whatever. Do you know the update on Paige yet? Because a lot of people told me about what happened, and I seen that video too. But I know Sasha didn't mean it though.
All we know is Paige did get hurt. It was legitimate. Apparently, she took a drop kick to either the back of the neck or the back of the head. I don't know. I haven't seen the actual spot. I've only been just what I've been told by two different people that were at the show is that she took a drop kick to it was either the back of the head or the back of the neck, and she immediately went down. The doctors and the referees checked on her for 4 to 5 minutes before they helped her out of the ring, and they helped her walk backstage. They did bring a stretcher down just in case because they didn't know how bad it was, but she was able to walk out. So as far as how bad her injury is, whether she's going to be out of action for a little bit, whether she just needs to take the rest of the week off, we don't know. We probably won't know anymore until tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, when you do know some information, can you please text me on Facebook?
Oh yeah,
I really love to know.
I'll update it on the channel as soon as I find anything out.
Okay. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you about is I'm glad that you said that John Cena is going to win the Rumble, because everybody already knows he's going to win the Rumble, 17-time champion, and then he might leave. So with that being the case, what do you think is next for John Cena after he leaves WWE?
I mean, do more movies. I mean, that's the route he's going. He's going to be the next Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as far as, I don't know if he's ever going to be as big of a movie star as The Rock, but that's the direction he's going. He's getting a lot more roles. He's doing a lot more things. I know he's got some sort of animated TV series he's working on for some, I don't know if it's Hulu or Netflix. He's doing with, I think, Demi Lovato. So he's got that coming up. He's got some movies already lined up. So I think he's going to take a lot more, acting gigs. Because he even said it. He's 40 years old. He can't do like he was doing in the ring 5-10 years ago. So he knows his time's limited. He said it. He said it on the Raw Talk after No Mercy.
Yeah, I remember that because I saw the whole segment.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. One more thing. Damn, I forgot this last thing. I had asked you about the Caitlyn thing. There's February 10th. She's supposed to be fighting in the Indies.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be on a Fight TV app or something? Because I want to watch that. I'll return to the ring.
Don't know. I think it's Coastal Championship Wrestling. Let me double check that. I don't know if they're on Fight TV.
Okay. Yeah, because if that's an app, then I can download that to my phone.
Yeah, I don't think they are. I can double check really quick right here. Coastal Championship Wrestling. Yeah, I don't see anything on their website showing the Fight logo or anything. Yeah, I don't see anything.
Okay. Well, when you find something out, can you just let me know?
Yeah, I mean, I bet you someone's gonna film something and put it up online, like a fan that's there. So yeah, I don't see any Fight TV affiliate with them, so it's not looking likely.
Okay.
Yeah, their website has. I'm on it right now, and it has nothing for the Fight Network.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Tim.
All right. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too, man. All right.
All right. So I saw a couple people ask about WrestleMania 35. Last I heard, it was either New York area, which would be MetLife Stadium, or Philadelphia, and they're leaning more towards MetLife. Now, if they're going to do that, then I would assume that SummerSlam moves from Barclays, hopefully back to California and Los Angeles. That would be pretty cool. But we'll have to see exactly what route they go. I think it's going to end up being New York for WrestleMania 35. We should hear something within the next month or two. Usually they announce the WrestleMania location in mid to late January, early February. So let's see. I just saw something. I lost it in the chat. Somebody said Paige has a shoulder injury. I haven't heard that yet, but like I said, it just happened right before, like about an hour or two before we went live, so I haven't gotten too many updates on it. If I do hear anything else on Paige, for sure I will post it up on the YouTube channel, on this channel, as soon as I find anything out. But with that, that's going to do it for this episode of the Pro Wrestling Unlimited podcast. Thank you, everybody who was watching us live here, who's watching on replay, who's listening on iTunes. Thank you, the callers, the people in the live chat. It was great to have you guys here, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. Same place, same time. Have a great night, guys. And if we aren't live again beforehand, Happy New Year's.